Welcome to the March edition of the Marion City Journal. I'm Bryce Starner, and with me as always is Mayor Schertzer. How are you doing today, Mayor?
Great, Bryce. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So every show so far for the past at least 5 months, we've talked about yard waste and pickup around Marion. That seems to be something that the city workers get a lot of questions about, is when are they going to come around to pick up the yard waste in their bags around their yards. We've put that aside because of the snow and other important issues around Marion. So what's going on with that now that's getting warmer?
Yeah, I think it's important that we let our viewers know exactly when the city is going to start yard waste collection, because we have never done it during the winter months. We don't prepare for it, staff for it, budget for it. Just because it's been a mild winter and a lot of folks have been out working in the yard doesn't mean that that's the reason that we're going to start yard waste collection. However, I want anybody to know that if you do have yard waste and you are a city resident, you can take it to Park Enterprises out on Barks Road at no charge to you. And I understand it may be a bit of an inconvenience for you to take your yard waste out there. You may not have a truck or a van or something appropriate to haul it in, but you can still do that on your own at no charge. We will start weekly yard waste collection beginning April the 17th. And if you remember, we pick up your yard waste the day after we pick up your sanitation on your street. So again, April the 17th, we will start weekly collections of yard waste in the city of Marion, and we'll continue that throughout the spring, the summer, and well into the fall. I think last year we went all the way into the 1st of December because, again, the fall was so mild also. But we don't do yard waste in the winter months, and we're not planning to do it in the future either.
That makes sense. So I was speaking with my grandfather the other day. He works at Wyandotte, and he said that he saw someone from a foreign country here looking around their building and stuff. I was wondering if you could touch on that and tell us what was happening in Marion with that.
Yeah, we had a great visit the other day from a foreign delegation coming to Marion to take a look at us. The Polish Consul General from New York City did a kind of a Northern Ohio tour, and we were included on that tour. It was Tuesday morning. We met him at the airport. There was a delegation, were 3 individuals from Poland who came to take a look at some of the things that we have here in Marion. This is the first time since I've been in office that we've had a foreign delegation make a visit to Marion. This was really an advanced team hoping to bring back a larger Polish delegation later on in the summer, say August. So we're not really sure what they want, but just building these relationships with foreign countries like this can open up the doors to foreign companies. You know, they were interested in Whirlpool Corporation because of the household appliances made there, and they're also interested in exporting corn and wheat from the U.S. to Poland. And that's really how this whole thing got started. A friend of mine who works for the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers knew that we had a Whirlpool here. He's very familiar with Marion. So he asked me if we would be interested in being part of this Polish delegation visit. And certainly we were. County Commissioner Ken Stuyerson was present. Marion Candu was present. The community really came out and put on a nice presentation for the Polish delegation. So we're kind of going to wait and see what happens and how this relationship develops. We're also cultivating some relationships with some other foreign countries, because if we can get these countries to buy products made in Marion or Ohio, that's good for our economy. Or if these countries want to come to our communities and put a plant here of some sorts, we would certainly be able to work with them as well.
That'd be great for the community. Now, the Lincoln Park Aquatic Center is ran through the city of Marion, and I know that as a worker there for the past couple of years, they're starting to hire again. Could you tell our viewers when they could pick up an application or when they might want to interview or anything?
Sure. I think you know, Bryce, already that most people pick up their applications online. You can certainly come into City Hall, the 3rd floor, the HR department. As soon as you get off the elevator, turn to your left, then the first door on your right. You can pick one up there. But we are accepting applications for all positions at the Aquatic Center, whether it be a lifeguard or in the concession or the front gate. We are looking for qualified individuals to serve at the Marion Aquatic Center. And actually, we just passed an ordinance on City Council that slightly bumps up the wages for all the employees at the Aquatic Center. Wow. I think lifeguards are now at $10 or maybe $10.10. I can't remember.
They're at $9.50 last
$9.50. So I think they're going to $10 now. So nice. Bryce, it looks like you're going to get a raise this year if you get your job back.
I'm hoping to.
You want me to put in a good word for you?
That'd be nice.
Okay.
We'll be right back after these words.
You know, I love the club. It's the reason I'm here. It's taught me so many lessons, and I can talk about it in a positive way and in an honest way for the rest of my life. You know, in a community or in a town, your role models are the people that you deal with, that are in your face, that you talk to, that you can ask questions to, not necessarily some basketball player or actor on screen. Boys and girls clubs, great futures start here.
And we're back with the Marion City Journal. Before the break, we were talking about the pool and the raises, and there was a meeting the other night at City Council. They were discussing that they want more ideas and more ways to involve people around the community at the pool. So we'd like to tell our viewers that if you guys have any suggestions, if you guys enjoy the Lincoln Pool and have any ideas of how to make it better for our community, then please share them. You can probably drop off ideas at them at that office that you just mentioned.
Yeah, and you know, as always, if you're a frequent guest of the Marion Aquatic Center, we're always open to suggestions to make the facility better, whether it's something in the concession stand or offering another service at the Aquatic Center. Probably the best place to drop off your suggestions would be on the 3rd floor of City Hall. Of course, Mike Cheney, our Park, Recreation, and Aquatics Director, his office is at the Marion Municipal Airport. If you wanted to drive out to the airport, you could drop it off out there as well, or you could just bring it to the mayor's office, and we'll make sure that Bryce and the Aquatics Director get the suggestions that he mentioned.
Awesome. Thank you. Lately, we had a big windstorm. There's been some crazy weather. I saw that there was people complaining there was a traffic light out, and they did not know what to do when they came up to the stoplight because it was just completely out. It might have happened in a couple instances around Marion. What do you do when all of the lights are out at a stoplight?
You know, great question. We've been talking about this quite a bit lately with the law director, the chief of police, Bill Collins, and the safety director, Tom Robbins. And this just happened about a week ago. What the city used to do is we used to bring out temporary stop signs, and then the entire intersection was treated as a four-way stop. What we have since learned is putting up the temporary stop signs is not the best thing to do at all, because we don't know when the electricity is going to come back on and those signals are going to become operational. So if you pull up, there's a stop sign, the signal's going, what do I do, what do I do? So we have come to the conclusion, looking at the Ohio Revised Code and the Traffic Manual of Ohio, that if you come upon an intersection where the traffic signals are inoperable, you treat it as a four-way stop. Now, you may know that, but keep in mind that other oncoming traffic may not know that. So be cautious at any intersection where the signals are not working properly.
Is that still occurring in Marion today, or have they all been fixed?
No, they've all been fixed. It was just a windstorm. It knocked out a transformer. It knocked out a couple of our traffic signals, and they were operational later on that evening.
Awesome. So the last two shows, you've kept us updated on the property on South Main Street, 146, 148. What's going on with that?
Yes, we're closer than we've ever been before, and I know I've been saying that for the past couple months. But we're actually now only waiting on 2 signatures to the contract, and the city is doing a title search on the property right now. So once those 2 signatures are on the contract, the title search comes back, we have a contractor ready to go. Regional planning has been working with the contractor to do the demolition. We can start as soon as those 2 things happen. And so I am very hopeful if things continue to progress as they have been for the past few weeks, that we're finally going to get that fire damaged building 146, 148 South Main Street to the ground. And again, as we've talked, you might remember, that's going to be deeded to the city as an extension of the city park. It'll be green space for a while. We're not going to do anything with it for a couple of years. They're going to bring in some clean fill dirt. They're going to seed it. and it'll just be green space. But that's the time where we can start to do the planning stages with Downtown Marion Inc. and the Marion Community Foundation to determine what is it that we want to put in that green space. How do we want to expand that park? And certainly there's another opportunity for the public to get involved in their input on what they might have some great ideas to put in there. So if it's something we can afford to do, we certainly will take a serious look at it.
Now, can we expect you there in a hard hat with the TNT box on day of demolition? Or?
Probably not. We just will bring in a nice big bulldozer of some sorts and a backhoe and knock it over. You know, that alley has been closed since the fire. We were always concerned that that old building might just collapse right into the alley and a pedestrian or car might be driving through there. Oh. I don't think it's going to take a lot to bring down that old building. It was built in like the 1880s.
Wow. Oh, okay. So one more topic about Marion and the streets. The street resurfacing project, the first wave should be about to be going on. What's going on with that?
Well, I think next month's show I'll have a list of streets that I can get into more detail with everybody. But the nice thing about street resurfacing this year is we're doing a phase 1 and a phase 2. And we're almost doubling the budget of our street resurfacing that we normally do. So phase 1 will begin sometime in about June, and we can start to talk about that in the April show. And then phase 2 will start at our normal street resurfacing time, which is late summer, early fall, around September, before or after the Popcorn Festival. But we also have some sewer projects that we're going to be finishing up. We started the Greenwood Street sewer project last year. We knew we weren't going to get it done in time. We kind of buttoned it up for the winter, and now we're ready to unbutton it. And the construction crew is going to come back in the middle of April and finish that off with new sidewalks, curbs, gutters, and then a fresh layer of asphalt on the South Greenwood Street project. That's a little bit closer to Grant Middle School as you're heading in that direction.
Yeah, I saw that street was down, closed temporarily,
yep.
But it's back up now, I believe. Oh, good. We'll be back after this message.
This is me, and this is my teacher, Miss C. She's so great. She teaches me a lot of good stuff. She taught me that everything I do starts with me. I'm in charge. She taught me to have a plan and make sure I do all my work before I play. I also learned how to play well with others. I try to remember that everyone can win. And I listen before I talk. That makes working together a lot more fun. I know that balance feels best, so I remember to take care of myself. Miss C taught me lots of things, but the best one ever is that I can be great.
What if every child had the same opportunity? The opportunity to develop the essential life skills and characteristics students need to thrive in the 21st century. The Leader in Me process provides the teacher experience and classroom implementation tools to put your school on the path to greatness. As you integrate timeless principles into your school's core curriculum and language, you will build student self-confidence, reduce discipline referrals, and increase academic achievement. Find out more at theleaderinme.org.
Great happens here.
And we're back with the Marion City Journal. So, Mayor, it's been brought to my attention that over the winter, the people who work for the city of Marion, their hours changed due to the time of year. And I believe we're getting ready to go back into our summer hours. What's that like?
Right. Well, we're specifically talking about the street department, and we just felt it was a good use of taxpayer dollars and a wise use of the time and the employees to have a second and a third shift on during the winter months because of the potential inclement weather. We can get out and we can clear the streets quicker, we can fill potholes quicker. So we had really a skeleton crew on third shift and a more substantial crew on second shift. So we're getting to the point now where we think winter's just about over because spring's in a couple of days. So we're going to move everybody back to what you might call spring or summer hours, everybody working on the first shift. And this will allow them to do more things during the day. It's a different type of work that we do in the spring and the summer than we do in the winter. But it has been very successful for us to have that second and third shift in the winter months.
Awesome. And I know that this Saturday is a really busy day here in Marion. The farmers' breakfast will be going on at Tri Rivers in the morning. I've been to that before, I believe. I don't know how often it occurs. Is it just a once-a-year thing?
Yeah, the Farmer Care Breakfast is put on by a group of farmers, and the Ohio Farm Bureau helps out with that, and other organizations related to agriculture. And of course, agriculture is a very important economic engine in the Marion community. And so the Farmers Care Breakfast is at Tri Rivers. I believe it starts at 7 a.m. I usually try and get to it. I'm going to be there this Saturday. And there is a lot going on in our community, not just during the week, but on the weekends as well. You've got Beauty and the Beast starting here at Harding High School. It's the Grant Middle School show. And so if you're into something like that, they run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so there's a lot going on.
I'm sure I'll be there. I've heard a lot of praise about they always have really nice sets and costumes for our middle school plays or musicals. So that should be exciting.
Yeah.
What day do you plan on going?
I think I'm going opening night. I've never gone on opening night this year. I still have a daughter in middle school. She's in it. And, of course, my wife is the director of the show. So I kind of have to go.
Yeah. So it's March. We have to talk about March Madness, of course. Do you have any preferences on who wins the tournament, or what are you thinking this year?
You know, I really love college sports. Football more than basketball, but I watch a lot of college basketball in the winter months. And, you know, it's always an exciting time when March Madness comes around. A lot of folks do their brackets, and then they compare with their coworkers or friends. You know,
make some money off.
Yeah, well, you know, that if that happens on the side, that happens on the side. Certainly, you know, we don't know what happens in something like that. But March Madness is fun. It's kicking off today. It's going to go all weekend long. So if you're a fan of basketball, you're going to be in hog heaven because there's a lot for you to do as well. Got a pick this year, do you?
I don't think I do. I don't want to guess anything and it'd be wrong.
Yeah. I don't really have a pick, but there are some good matchups that I'd really like to see. Maybe Gonzaga finally makes it to the final game this year. They've done real well, but you know, I'd like to stay away from maybe some of those traditional schools, those big schools that are always there.
Yeah,
I think
Kentucky,
you mentioned during
Duke.
break. I don't know that
I don't
Villanova.
want to see Kentucky.
Yeah,
I don't like seeing Kentucky in the Final Four.
Tell you, North Carolina and Duke have had 3 fabulous games this year, so I wouldn't mind seeing them play in the Final Four.
That would be exciting. So we'll see you back next month in April. Hopefully we'll have more updates on some of the stuff we talked about today. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of March and the first part of your months in April. We'll see you the last month of April.